necessarily under all the practices of their company, but the minute I read that, I thought that's definitely something we're adopting. You know, we have to figure out a way to make people feel like they don't have to be on all the time. I've already told people they shouldn't be on their phones after 7 p.m. and that I don't want to hear from them on weekends, and so shouldn't feel that they have to try to do work on weekends.
Right.
It's sanity. You have children.
But that's also a product of using your seat at the table.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the other thing, that there are women like us who have leverage to do that. But the vast majority of women don't have the leverage to do that.
No.
So if you don't have a job, if you don't have a job that allows for flex, if you're a teacher, a bus driver, a nurse where you're working a shift, it is harder to negotiate that. But for the women in the room who, you know, are in those C-suites and at those tables and talking about human resources, and they're in the conversation, we have to be the ones that are making those arguments for the others who don't.
It's an obligation, I feel like. You have an obligation, if you have a voice, to speak up from your perspective.
Or give the seat up and let somebody else who's gonna, you know, fight the good fight, let them have the seat.
My favorite thing about my shows is that people say to me, we get to have babies here. So all these actors come and get pregnant immediately because I don't fire them when they get pregnant. I have a party.
Yeah.
But it should be that way.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people get punished for doing their work and being pregnant at the same time.
Well,
But that happens a lot,
it
Noah.
happens a lot. Because who's making those decisions?
Exactly.
You know?
And you can say, right, you're right. You can say to men, well, do you have kids? And they say yes. And you say, well, how did your wife do? And they say, my wife doesn't work because I made sure that she could stay home for the entire time. And then you say, think about that. Like, think about the options available to
Okay,
people.
fellas, we're talking to you now. Think about that. That's about empathy. It's about, you know, it's about a whole range of things, but that also gets to who's at the decision-making table.
Right.
And I've done a lot of conversations over the past several months, and a lot of questions I get from X organization or X industry is that we're working on diversity. What do you recommend we do? And the first thing I recommend is that you make sure that the problem-solving table is diverse.
Yeah.
You know, you are not going to, there can't be a room full of men who are going to come up with right answers for how to create a work environment that's hospitable to women.
And it can't be a room full of women.
And it can't be a room full of women. The same is true, true for all of us. If we're trying to get anything done and we look around and we all look alike, we're all sitting around the same table and we feel really comfortable with ourselves, we should question that at any table that we're at. And we should be working actively to mix it up so that we're getting a real broad range of perspectives on every issue.